We are back to the learning stages, focusing on the manager stages now. We are crossing the bridge from doing the work to leading the work. If you've ever stepped into management or are starting to feel truly comfortable leading a team, these stages are for you. Because leadership is not just a promotion, it's a complete rewiring of how you learn, think and create value. At stage 4, your world expands overnight. You are suddenly responsible not only for your own performance, but for other people's energy, output and growth. You're learning to move from individual contributor to collective success. And later in stage 5, once you've gained your footing, you will evolve again from managing work to building influence. And that shift defines your entire leadership identity. This stage marks the transition from managing tasks to managing people, and that shift changes everything. It's not just a new title, it's a new identity. Stage 4 begins the moment you realize that your success is no longer measured by your output, but by the output of others. You're stepping into uncertainty, learning the ropes of leadership, balancing empathy with accountability, and trying to find that invisible line between trusting your team and taking ownership of the result. You'll catch yourself saying, it's faster if I do it myself. That's the old instinct, the individual contributor in you still holding on. But now your growth depends on how quickly you can shift from doer to developer. It's no longer about proving that you can deliver. It's about proving that you can enable others to deliver. At this stage, every day feels like a paradox. You need to show confidence while you are still learning, give feedback while you are still figuring things out, and inspire others while you are secretly questioning yourself. That's leadership, a constant balancing act between certainty and vulnerability. Then comes stage 5, the stability point. The moment you realize leadership is less about what you say and more about what your team reflects back. Your systems are smoother now, your people start to trust your rhythm, and now the game changes again. You move from managing work to shaping the direction, from daily oversight to long-term influence. You start noticing that your biggest growth no longer comes from solving problems yourself, but from scaling others' ability to solve them. The timeline is not fixed. For first-time managers, stage 4 might feel like climbing a mountain for a year, full of awkward feedback sessions, emotional turbulence, or small wins that feel massive. For more experienced managers, it might pass faster, a few miles of recalibration before you find your stride again. But here is the truth. Every leader, no matter how senior, revisits these stages at each new level. Every promotion restarts the loop because leadership is not a destination, it's a skill that you continuously earn through experience, self-awareness, and reflection. In the earlier stages, your value came from execution, how well and how fast you solve problems. Now your value comes from the style, how you lead, inspire and remove obstacles so others can solve the problems. You're no longer judged by what you do, but by what happens because of you. That's a profound shift. Your leadership effectiveness becomes the multiplier of your team's output. How you communicate vision, set clarity and sustain momentum are becoming extremely critical. And your learning priorities shift dramatically once you step into management. The skills that got you promoted won't be the ones that keep you a leader. In stage 4, your learning focus realigns completely. 50% leadership and communication. This becomes your new center of gravity. You learn how to motivate, delegate, give feedback without crushing the initiative. Learn storytelling, because as a leader, your words shape the energy of the team. Communication is not just about clarity, it's about direction, tone, and the confidence that you transfer to other people. 25% execution. You still deliver, but differently now. Your role is to create systems that allow others to deliver effectively. You set goals, remove obstacles, and measure outcomes, not minutes. You're no longer the engine, you are the mechanic keeping the engine running smoothly. 25% mental strength. Managing people tests your emotional intelligence more than any deadline ever will. You will face uncertainty, frustration, pressure, often at the same time. Building resilience, self-awareness and composure becomes as essential as any technical skill did in the past. Then in stage 5, the emphasis shifts again. 50% leadership and communication stays constant because you never truly master it, you just refine it with every challenge that you face. 25% mental resilience becomes even more important now. The higher you go, the lonelier it gets. You'll need stronger systems of reflection, rest, and regulation. 10% execution, this now drops. Your direct output matters less than your ability to prioritize and empower others. Finally, 15% core expertise starts to emerge. This is where you start defining what you'll be known for, the unique edge that you will carry into executive roles and your personal brand later on. And here is the deeper truth behind the split. Half of your growth now depends on how you lead others. The other half depends on how you lead yourself. How well you stay grounded, calm, and focused when the world around you accelerates. In this phase, self-mastery becomes leadership mastery. If you don't manage your energy, your stress, your emotions, they will manage you, and your team will mirror it and will suffer because of it. In stage 4, your mission is to learn how to lead, not by theory, but by doing. Read books, yes, observe great leaders, definitely, but remember, leadership doesn't live in knowledge, it lives in practice, in repetition. Every day becomes a learning lab. You will navigate tough conversations, balance competing priorities, and face the discomfort of delegation. That discomfort is your greatest teacher. Learn to coach instead of control. When your instinct says, I could do it faster, pause. That's the ego talking. Your goal isn't to do it faster anymore, it's to make sure someone else can do it better next time. Ask questions instead of giving answers. People don't grow from being told what to do, they grow from discovering how to do it themselves. That shift from directive to serving leadership is what separates good managers from transformative one. Learn to manage emotions, both yours and your team's. Your patience will be tested every day, empathy will stretch your boundaries, and at times you will have to make decisions that won't please everyone. But the way you handle those moments will define how much your team trusts you when things get hard. By stage 5, leadership evolves again. It becomes less about tasks and more about influence. You're not just managing performance anymore, you are shaping the culture. You're crafting narrative that unite your team and positioning their work in the broader company story. Advocate for your team, talk about their wins, give them credit publicly, and protect their focus privately. Your visibility now extends beyond your departments to peers, senior leaders, and other stakeholders. Your communication becomes the bridge between your team's work and the organizational goals. This is also the moment to start defining your core expertise. Ask yourself, what kind of problems give me energy? Where do I consistently create measurable value? Which parts of my work give me a sense of purpose, not only pride? The answers to these questions will become the foundation of what your long-term brand as a leader is going to be. It's not about being good at everything, it's about being known for something that matters. Outside of learning itself, this phase is about relationships. Leadership is not a solo game, it's an ecosystem. Build strong partnerships inside and outside of your company. Find mentors, plural. Each one should stretch a different muscle, one for leadership style, one for business context, one for personal growth. Manage your manager with humility and transparency. They can't read your mind, but they will support you if you communicate your goals and challenges clearly. And most importantly, celebrate your team publicly. Shift the spotlight from I to we. When your people grow, you grow. When they win, elevate them first. That's the mark of a true leader. Outside, they open perspectives and opportunities you won't see otherwise. Neglect this, and both you and your team will operate in a silo. Now let's talk about the traps that quietly sabotage many new managers. Not the obvious failures, the subtle patterns that look like effort but block your growth. First is clinging to technical comfort. This is the hardest habit to break at the beginning. You become successful because you were great at doing the work, but now your value lies in how others do the work. When you keep jumping into details or fixing things yourself, you're not helping, you're preventing growth. You're also exhausting yourself and sending your team a hidden message: I do not trust you, let go. It's uncomfortable at first, but necessary if you want to lead at scale. Doing too much yourself, it feels productive, right? That satisfaction of checking boxes, cleaning up messes, solving everything yourself. But that's not leadership, that's survival. Your new success metric is not what you produce, it's what your team can achieve without you. If your presence is required for everything to move, you are not leading, you are the bottleneck. Micromanaging. Control feels safe, it gives you certainty, but control is a cage for you and for them. Your job is to create clarity and space, not to hover over every detail. Perfectionism is leadership's slow poison. It kills trust, innovation, morale. Replace control with coaching. Replace oversight with ownership. Let them fail small now so they can succeed big later. Ignoring networking. This one destroys many mid-level leaders without them even realizing it. You can lead in isolation. Inside your company, your network determines how much support, resource, and influence your team gets. Outside of your company, your network shapes your perspective and opportunities. Neglect it and you will slowly lose visibility, context, and influence, both for yourself and your people. The truth is, leadership isn't just about managing your team, it's about building bridges in every direction, up, down, across. If you want to be effective, don't just grow your team, grow your ecosystem. We'll explore all of this much deeper in the dedicated Phoenix Leadership course, where we'll break down each of these stages in far more detail, from building trust and influence to managing conflict, scaling culture, and developing leadership presence. This course is focused on development and learning. The leadership track is where we'll truly unpack the full system of how great leaders grow, inspire, and scale their impact over time. So watch out for more information on the website if this is something that you are interested in. Now, let's put this into action. If you are in stage 4, focus on establishing yourself as a leader first. Learn actively, books, mentorship, leadership podcasts, anything you can test immediately. Practice emotional regulation daily, journal after tough conversations, build critical relationships across the team. Try on leadership styles until one starts to fit. If you are in stage 5, keep leadership and communication at the center of your development plan. Refine your strategic influence, how you present your team's success to senior leadership, for example. Then define your core area of expertise and start learning everything about it. Continue nurturing your network and mentor relationships. Document and systematize your leadership wins. They become your next stage portfolio that will form a foundation for your personal brand. This is where your evolution becomes visible, not only in results but in reputation. Because your people will remember how you made them grow, not just what you achieved. The managers who thrive here don't chase titles, they build trust, they empower others, they scale themselves through people. Master this stage and you won't just manage teams, you will build future leaders.